Hey, what's going on? JD here, and this is the Daily JD. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, remember, smash that like button, hit that bell so you get notifications when we do, in fact, go live. And of course, you can follow me on all my socials at Paint Inc. at Instagram, which I've been using a fair bit more, as well as Twitter, and of course, over on Twitch, all at Paint Inc. Of course, we always tweet out before we go live, just in case you're looking forward to it. Hopefully, you guys are well and staying safe and washing your hands and covering your mouth when you cough and sneeze and all those kind of good things. So it's interesting. I almost don't know what to say at this point. This is just more of a let's talk. I do have a video that I will be putting out as soon as this live stream is done. I think I'll either, depending on what you guys say here, whether you want me to do a premiere, we can do a premiere and I can sit and chat with you guys as well, or I can just push it forward as live. But the plan is to do it today, so there won't be a video tomorrow, just because it's more current today than it will be tomorrow, I guess, in a sense. It's like I said, it's a strange world and it's interesting. If you are here, by all means, let me know that you're here in the chat. If there's anything that you want to discuss, by all means, throw some comments in there as well. I said I don't really have a ton of stuff to talk about because the news is completely dominated by, of course, what is going on with this pandemic that's sort of hit the world. So, but that being said, there are things that we can definitely discuss and how you can fill your time and all that kind of good stuff. Hey, Josh. Hale and I are playing Fortnite on the stream right now. She would love to play after if you can. I will definitely do that once I get the video going live, and I will hop on and check out your stream afterwards as well. That being said, of course, I want to thank our Patreon supporters. That is none other than Reviewy McReviewface. You can check out his channel in the comments there if it actually populates as well. There it is. And as well as you can check out Josh WRB and Mum's Universe, who are both sponsors of this channel, and that is greatly appreciated. Hey, good to see you, Lou. Thank you so much for dropping in. I want to congratulate you on your story that you put out in regards to the Calgary Flames. I also want to say that I think, it's fantastic because I believe what you did was instrumental in getting the Calgary Flames to change their tune. So I'm extremely excited for you, and I was very happy to see that. Again, I was sort of disappointed. My commentary on that is I was very disappointed in the Calgary Flames that they went that route to begin with. It was a little disheartening, especially for me, seeing that they're getting public money to build an arena. You think that they would want to support the community in these very hard times. And I understand that they're a business and so on and so forth. But again, when you are getting community money to support your business venture and a very large sum of it, I think that supporting everybody who makes the Saddle Dome run, giving these extraordinary circumstances, is a very important thing. And, again, Lou, you did a phenomenal job. I saw it on social media. And like I said, I think that you did a great thing and it was instrumental in change. I know that you're big into, being in the media, and I've seen your stuff with the media scrums down at City Hall and all those kind of things. You're doing good work, my friend. And again, congratulations. I think that you helped out a lot of people by doing what you did, and you took a risk because you yourself are an employee for the Flames part time, and they could have taken that very sourly. But it's glad to see that they've changed their tune, and I believe you were the catalyst that made that happen, and that's amazing, my friend. Absolutely amazing. Josh says, yay. Lou says, thanks. Hey, Matt, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you're staying safe out there in Vancouver. So, yeah, It's just, kind of strange times, so a lot of people are, self-isolating. A lot of people are, staying indoors. They're not going outside. And to be honest, I really didn't understand the impact. I've been going about my stuff the way that I normally do. It's had a personal effect on me in a couple ways, which I'll sort of get into, I guess, in this live stream. And it's kind of crazy in a sense. I went and photographed, Cracked the Lenses last show as well. My good friends of Path Less Travel were there. We did that on Saturday. It was a very, very small crowd. People were definitely keeping their distance. It's people were using hand sanitizer. I noticed it all the time. People washing their hands, which is great to see. Everybody donated the proceeds from that show, which was also amazing, to support a live music venue to the venue itself, because they've since shut their doors because all the events are canceled there. For me personally, contracts for the next 3 months have all disappeared in the last week. In fact, it happened Thursday last week. Was pretty much it was all done at that point, which is understandable given the circumstances. Coachella was the first to pull the plug on stuff, followed by some other labels that had hired me to do things, as well as ultimately Live Nation pulling the plug on everything. So, I mean, there's not going to be a ton of stuff, which is my normal, for quite a while. And, it's an adjustment period. So the question becomes, this has a big impact on everybody, what you do in the meantime. I know, hey, good to see you, Stephen. Glad to see that you are not dead. But, even, Stephen himself, who I've been plugging his event on March 20th, for Twitch Calgary. I don't even know at this point, and Stephen probably doesn't know if it's going to go forward. I assume it's not going forward at this point, because it's less than a few days away, which is unfortunate because those are great community events. Maybe we can do something like an online, sort of thing going on. I have to stop touching my face as well. I've been very itchy since having the shingles, and it's very, very crazy. I'm doing my best, and I'm definitely washing my hands. I have my hand sanitizer over there, all sorts of good things. So what can we do in the meantime? What can we do to adjust? I would say to everybody is invest in yourself. Is that, the internet is as terrible as it can be at times. It is a phenomenal place, and let's utilize that phenomenal stuff. So things like Creative Live, which offer free courses throughout the year, you can definitely do that. You can watch them. They're running courses sort of all the time. You can watch them live. Some of them are repeats. You can buy their courses. They have course packs for like $99. Things like Masterclass, where you can take courses with all sorts of experts in their fields. If you're a musician, creating music, if you're an artist doing some painting projects that you want to do, or working on a skill or something that you have been putting off for the last little while. I know a lot of people are, sort of not at work, and things are definitely shutting down. And again, I'll be putting out a video after this stream shortly thereafter. Again, if you want me to do a premiere version of it, I can definitely do that. But I'll probably just click the live. Just depends on what you guys want to see. But it's my latest vlog. I want to put it out today versus, sort of putting it out later on. But it's interesting times. I feel that, investing in yourself, though, is the thing to do. And, taking the time, spend time, reconnect with things, read a book, make yourself smarter, all those kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you can do in your home and do all sorts of things. So I'm going to just jump to the thing. I can't wait to start my podcast. I'm looking forward to that as well. Good to see you in here, King Dylan. For those of you who didn't watch the King Dylan on One Killer Story, please do check that out. I'll let that go. I think last month is that it went out, and it did really, really well. We also released Scott from the Path Less Traveled episode out on Monday, giving people something to do. And I'm actually very happy to say that the podcasts have been doing very, very well. In the first day, I think there was like 10 hours of watch time given the views, so people are watching them for a very, very long time. Want to get high Corona 2020. Happy Guinness Day. Infamous. I work at a casino, and now we just closed today. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. The casinos. I mean, all these places, it's bound to have an effect. And the crazy part is, and nobody has any answers for it, is where do we go from here? What's sort of the future hold? When do things go back to normal, or when do things start getting implemented? I know that it's kind of like 2 weeks and wait and see, but who knows? There's no real forecast of when life goes back to normal. I'm just trying to figure out how to fill my time this week. It's been, like I said, it's been a little different. I spend a lot of time inside as well. Most of the time I'm on the phone making phone calls and answering emails. But I mean, even that's slowing down, and there's some communication. It's going to be a very much adjustment period, I think, for a lot of people. Steve says, "Oh, we are online 100%. Absolutely. That's great. That's great to hear. That is great to hear." Josh says, "I'm on Twitch right now." Elle says, "Hi. Hello, L8. Good to hear from you. I'll be playing Fortnite with you later." Elle's my favorite Fortnite streamer. I will say that. King Dylan says, "My work is still open for however long, I don't know." And that's the scary thing, is that things are definitely having an effect across the board. Places are shutting down, like Cineplex announced yesterday that they're shutting down completely. The stock market is in shambles. So how we come out of the other end of this, I have no idea. What are the financial impacts? I mean, Alberta has been hit particularly hard over the past few years. I know a lot of people that I know live paycheck or contract to contract, and to have things just completely dry up with no sort of other end for them is a very scary prospect. It's going to be very difficult for a lot of people. So I mean, I'm just going to say it, be kind to people, execute patience, try to help your neighbors out, be the best person that you can, and we'll all get through this and be better on the other end. It's going to be a difficult time. It's funny. I went to get some errands from Superstore the other day, and there was a guy at a shopping cart. You could see on his face that he was very, very impatient with things, and then he would just cough out loud, showing his displeasure for it, which I think was the biggest dick move that I've seen in a while. And to be honest, I haven't felt like punching somebody in the head as much as I did in that moment. I didn't do it, but I really felt the urge to enact some real life social justice, but that would have just made my life a lot more miserable. So of course I didn't do it. Matt says, "I'm usually always in isolation anyways, so this is kind of nice to know that almost everything is inside too. I'm not missing anything." No FOMO. That is true. That is true. You're not going to have the fear of missing out on anything at this point. Dylan says, "I would almost prefer to be in isolation so I can work on videos, and I would love to see what you would create given the time to do it, because I know very talented video maker, and you make some great stuff, and I expect to see a lot more creative stuff going out there. What I do suggest for people as well is that in this time is, number one, support creators, because they are out there creating content. So watch their content, watch the ads, because that's what funds them at the end of the day. Throw them a thumbs up. Like, if you're watching this video, please do throw a thumbs up, because it does help me in the long run. Subscribe to their channels, just spend some time watching some stuff. What I've done as of late is that, the chance of contracting the disease at this point is still very, very low. There is 69 cases in the province, and there's over 1.5 million people in Calgary. So your chance of coming into contact with them is still very slim, but I'm not saying don't, do the social distancing thing. Don't not wash your hands, do all those things, stay safe, but, go out there. I have been trying to, if I'm going out and buying lunch, I will go to a local business that I know is family operated and support them, because at the end of the day, a lot of big chains, the McDonald's of the world, the Subways of the world, all these kind of things, they will come out on top at the end. They will weather the storm because they are large corporations and they have deep pockets to help everybody up or out. Going forward, some of these small businesses, they are not going to, have, the financial capacity to do things. I talked to one gentleman yesterday when I was actually out, and it's him and his wife that run the store, and they have 3 kids, and they had I was like one of 3 customers that they had yesterday. And the crazy part to me is that, it's, everybody is jamming themselves into places like Costco and Superstore and, hoarding supplies and doing all these kind of things, just to sort of echo what has been said. The supply chain is fine. Things are there. You don't need to hoard stuff. When you do go out, just, take your time, be cautious. Don't, be right crammed together. Give everybody space. Do your thing. Make sure to wash your hands. Big thing for me, I would honestly say, is disinfect your phone. So use like hand sanitizer, or not hand sanitizer, Lysol wipes. I use a thing called Whoosh. Disinfect your phone because a lot of times you touch things, then touch your phone, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are on their phones all the time. So just, take those extra cautions out there and stay safe and, be healthy, because, it does have an impact on people. A good example actually is the fact that, I am no longer allowed, and I'm perfectly healthy. I am no longer allowed to visit my dad. It's not an old age. It's a assisted living home because he had 2 strokes after the fires in Fort McMurray. Our family's had a lot of bad luck over the past few years. So we subsequently shut down our businesses. But, moving on to this, he's been in there because he is non-communicative. He can't speak. He needs, assistance all the time. So he's in a home there. Now we can't go visit him at all. Immediate family has not been allowed. They haven't said anything official to us, and they're not really saying anything, which leads me to believe that either somebody in the facility has been tested positive, or somebody that has been in contact with the facility tested positive. But they haven't said anything to us yet. Yesterday they shut it down. So, I just guess I have to wait and see. The hard part is that I can't even call or speak to him. So we just have to see what's going on, and he can't even communicate what's exactly going on. And the Alberta Health Services is refusing to really kind of divulge any information. Just saying at this time they are not allowing anybody in the facility, and I know for a fact that with the hospitals and Alberta Health Services allowing visits everywhere else, and keeping that to immediate family members, so it just means that there is something going on there, which sucks, but that's life, and things are a lot of times beyond your control. So you just got to kind of moving forward. Number went up to 90, something like 99 today. Missed the last announcements. Yeah, it's going to continue to rise. I believe we've had our first couple cases of community transmission. That means that things will start to increase. It's again still low risk of infection. You still need to take the proper precautions and do all those kind of stuff. Stephanie says, my movie theater that I worked at for 11 years, Landmark last night, they're closed because of the coronavirus. Yeah, Cineplex, same thing. And I don't suspect that they will reopen for at least 2 weeks, if not a little bit longer. And it's scary because a lot of people rely on these jobs, to pay their rent, to buy food, to do these things. It's good to see that the government is stepping forward, and taking care of things at the end of the day. And again, I don't know, I don't think anybody has seen anything like this in their lifetime, myself included. There's nothing comparable. It's just kind of weird out there. I know that myself and Josh and Dan Nobre, we went out and took photographs on Friday night, and we were out, and the streets were virtually dead on a Friday night. Granted that the Flames had canceled the game, so there was no game. Otherwise, it would have been very, very busy. But we went, sort of about our business and took photographs. And it's just interesting to see those kind of things. And I mean, I've experienced those things in the past. I was in Hurricane Katrina in New York City when that happened years ago, and I remember, the day after the hurricane passed, sort of waking up and, the streets of New York were empty, which is a very surreal feeling as well. And I'm getting those kind of vibes once again. It's an absolutely crazy time for people, but definitely. You still need to take care of yourself. This is a serious thing. You can't just kind of brush it off, and again, just take care of yourself first. Or you clean my phone. Yeah, it's, the phone thing is a big thing. I think, it's some things that I've started doing that, I actually did when I was in Asia last year. Some things that I thought are really good. When I was in Singapore, there's actually people that walk around things like the hawker markets and a lot of places where you eat food, and they sell sanitary napkins. In Singapore, it's really good because they give that job to a lot of people that are disabled, and gives them something to do, and they keep all the proceeds, and they can actually make a good deal of money doing that and contribute. And so you'll get these to clean your hands and also to clean the table. A lot of people will wipe the tables down before they eat. And that's something, in practice, you don't see here. But probably should be adopted. I mean, you need to, clean where you're going to eat. You're also going to need to clean your hands. The biggest thing is probably washing your hands before you eat, and, take care of those things and take care of your hygiene as best you can. And, the phone is the thing because you touch everything and touch your phone and you don't even think about it. It's right up against your face, all those kind of things. Like I said, I use this product called Whoosh, safe for electronics. Works really well. You can get it at Staples, and it's there. It's absolutely, it's there. I just bought some more yesterday because I was almost out of it, and they have tons of it. So it's not like it's disappeared like hand sanitizer in this world. Matt says, sorry to hear about your dad. Yeah, it's nothing that I can control. It's just something I have to be aware of. I feel that, he is as safe as he can be. He has a private room to himself. He can't get out without assistance. He has to get put in a wheelchair, and then he has to be pushed about because he can't even operate an electric one. So he's quite secure in there. It's just hard because, you can't go help him. You can't go do things for him. I usually bring him in food for him from the outside, all those kind of things. But, that's going to stop in the meantime. And to be honest, I had stopped visiting him just over a week ago because I was concerned because, a lot of people are asymptomatic with this, that I would transmit something completely by accident, and I didn't want to be responsible for that. So it was just his wife that was visiting at this point, and she got shut out. Josh says we had to cancel Elle's birthday altogether, and again, those things are hard. It's hard for a 6-year-old to have their birthday canceled, and I feel for her. But like I said, I mean, I am prepared on her birthday there to play Fortnite with her for as long as she wants, if not all day. So we'll have a good time, and we'll play tonight as well. Yeah, shout out to Josh and Dan. It was a fun time, but I think we'll be back to this night, last night, and we'll be allowed out. And it was pretty true. Very true. Isn't Staples closed? I don't know. To be honest, I was there yesterday. I went out. Like I said, I went out to actually go shopping to get my favorite Fortnite streamer, who is Elle. If anybody didn't catch that, a birthday present. I'm not going to say what it is because she is watching. I will get it to you at some point, Elle. I think it's pretty cool. I think you will like it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So it might take me a little bit longer than your birthday to get it to you, and I apologize for that, but that's just how the kind of circumstances are. But Staples may be closed, Matt. I don't know. It's probably something you can order online as well, but it's just Whoosh. And like I said, clean your phones, because it's just kind of one of those common things that people don't even think about. And I didn't really think about it till about a few days ago. It's just changing those habits that we happen to have, and making better habits to replace the ones, and be a little bit more safe. Hey, good to see you, Nick. Thank you so much for tuning in. Nick says, started a new job less than a month ago, was laid off today because of the stupid. Oh, man. Oh, I feel for you, man. I know that it's been tough, in those regards. I actually just watched your vlog the other day, and I was going to ask you what you were doing, but apparently, there you go. Matt Moore says, how are things in Van TO? Or Nick says, how are things, Matt, in TO? Stephanie says, I saw you at Market Mall a couple of Sundays ago. I was going to say hi, but I had to meet my parents at the car. Oh, no worries. No worries. I'm always approachable as well. Don't feel hesitant to ever kind of say hi. Just make sure in this time, a little bit of distance. I'm not going to shake hands or anything like that. I am a handshaker kind of guy. I have to get used to that. I was always brought up with like a good, handshake and all that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to, again, sort of move to better practices, moving forward. I don't know. I think I'm just going to adopt the old Shaolin Bao is what I will do, which is, partially normal for me because I have been part of that organization for a very, very long time, and, spent a lot of time, training that, and it's just all part of it. So yeah, it's kind of a weird time. And, like I said, I just hope that everybody is staying safe, that you're keeping yourself occupied. There's a lot of things that you can do as a creator, an artist, a musician, everything, to expand sort of, your repertoire, educate yourself. There are tons of resources online. If you do happen to have to be in self-isolation and you can't go anywhere whatsoever for 2 weeks or more, utilize that time to the best of your ability. Obviously, I hope that, if you do happen to contract this, that this isn't a terrible thing for you, that you just experience kind of mild stuff. We all don't know where this is ultimately going at the end of time. It's just kind of every day is new news and moving forward. So there you go. I prefer the pork bao salad type. Fair enough. Fair enough. They are good buns. They are most definitely very good buns. And it's weird because to be honest, I was supposed to be back in Singapore this time, again working on my documentary, but I decided to cancel a few months ago because I wasn't sure. There was cases started to appear in Singapore, although Singapore has done a very good job of, sort of minimizing the outbreak there, which I wouldn't expect any less, just because of the way that Singapore is, a very regimented country, but it was just to be sort of on the safe side, moving forward. So I don't know when I will get back to traveling and doing travel vlogs. In the meantime, I am probably sticking local. If I do anything travel wise, it will probably be also very local and probably very outdoorsy. Most likely, venturing into the woods and all that kind of fun stuff, because that's still a good time. And generally, I don't see anybody when I go out there. So, that should all be good. Also, in the meantime, I think I just released the second episode of One Killer Story. Please do watch that. Of course, in terms of things, I had Scott step in due to the fact that Fred canceled. Fred has now canceled yet again, and it's sort of off indefinitely. We're going to probably not record anything in studio for a bit. I may do some sort of over the phone or Skype ones. I'm not 100% sure. Or just leave it until such time as things sort of come back. But yeah, it's definitely interesting times. Matt says, I'm in Vancouver. Things are pretty good. Making connections, meeting new people. found a little freelance work. Awesome to hear. That is awesome to hear. So if you do have any other questions or anything you want to discuss, by all means, throw it in the chat. Definitely, things are taking a bit of a side. As you all know, Poutine Week is typically the big thing that I like to do every year. Like to do the gravy bowl, like to do a poutine meet and hang up or hangout. That won't be happening, so it won't be out on Eventbrite or anything like that. Any kind of appearances that I was going to make in the next couple months are also canceled, mainly because the events are canceled. But moving forward, we will see and play it by ear, and we'll probably do some small walkabouts and stuff like that. I do want to go about and sort of take photographs of the city and such, and of course, out in the wilds, where I don't have a ton of contact with people, and that's probably what I will be doing for the next little while. But that doesn't mean if you want to come along, I'm definitely down for having, guests in the old Jeep and driving out, which is, pretty much my norm. So I think on that note, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Please do smash that like button. We are going to end things at this point. We're going to roll the credits and all that kind of stuff. We are going to premiere our latest vlog, or not going to premiere it. I am going to put the latest vlog live once I log off here. And after you've watched that, come join us on Josh WRB's Twitch stream, where I will be playing Fortnite with both Josh and Elle over on Twitch. So thanks so much for your support, guys. Remember, support as many creators as you can during this time, because it's going to have a huge effect on them. Support small businesses. And when things come back to normal, I do beg you to go support all those businesses, that are local, that are kicking around, because they will need that injection of cash more than anybody else. Shop local, all that kind of good stuff. Thank you so much. Stay safe, wash your hands, and I will see you on the other side. And I will see you next week at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for another episode of the Daily JD. And until next time, see ya.